Everybody, I am covered in cat hair. It's my life. Every black shirt that I own, covered in cat hair. Let some of our friends wander on in. I am on early for a Tuesday. That crud in there. What's up, Aunt? Good to see you. I am getting set up. Well, doing a little bit of prep work so I can paint and finish my soup sign. It's going to go on the noodle house. And I think I want to make a couple of like bins that'll hang on the wall or maybe go on a shelf in the noodle hut to put like produce in. I think that would be a neat thing. When I say produce, I mean like, you know, greens and things like that, just to have it right there so the cook can grab it. But I painted the interior of this black and I put some detail greeblies and panel pieces, things like that, so I can dry brush it and give it some more character on the inside so that when I have the sign out, no matter which direction it gets seen from, it's got something going on, something interesting. But like I said, we'll have that set there. Let that dry. And I took apart, I know somebody had commented, I think it was like right as I was leaving the stream, asked if it was an HO scale train car. I don't think it was HO scale, but it was a plastic toy train car. And you need to put but it was just a plastic toy train car. I think I got it at a flea market, and so I just scooped it up, and I took it apart today so I could have these panels from it and scuffed it down so everything was smooth so it'd sit flat whenever I decide to use it for whatever I decide to use it for. And I cleaned up some other greeblies off of things and got myself a few cool pieces. So definitely was a train car at one point. How are things flying in your neck of the woods? I think I need to glue that. I think I'm going to glue that in place today. Yeah. Get it out of the way. Nah, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I want to get the back wall on here inside the diorama. But that's got to go on the back. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to really quick dry brush these pipes to make them look how I want them to look so I can get this in here. And then I can put the back wall on and have that sitting back there until we decide how we're going to cover it later. But right now, I think it's looking pretty great. I've been tempted to put a base too underneath it, but I'm not 1,000% on that yet. I don't know that I love that idea. I like it, but I don't know that I love it enough to commit to it and do that. So And this does look like it is a quiet, low streaming tonight. Wait, low attendance stream tonight. Commitment is hard. That's what she said. If I had a nickel for every time that happened. I mean, what? So yeah, this is gonna go in here. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Clipped into place. Be glued in spot, and it'll have that light on there to help make it bright. But yeah. So we've got a little noodle hut. But as I said, I would like to put maybe a basket. Actually, I don't even think I need to put the basket in there. All right, so here's my plan of action. Let's get the most important thing done, which is getting this thing weathered up and looking appropriate for the world that it's in. And then once I've done that, I can go ahead and put the rest together. So we'll do a little touch of stainless, and then come back in with a touch of wrought iron, and we'll see how she's looking. I'm not being overly precious about the paint on the pipes, on the, like, getting all the way to the top, because it's going to be glued to the ceiling. It's going to be affixed there, so I don't need to worry about the top. You always need to worry about the top. But just essentially, I want to get some silver overbrushed on here to make it look really metallic, and actually like pipes for the fixture. And take some of this wrought iron color. Just kind of stain around the top of this actual metal piece. Just to help make it stand out a little more. And again, just around the inside. Little character. Okay, so let's get this glued up. All right. All right, now I'm doing some gluing. That was almost like one of those hip hop songs, one of those beats. Bars, as the kids would say I have. Right? You guys came for the hip hop hour, right? Once again. instead of all super glue, we'll use tacky glue. We'll say thank you to Eileen. Come on, to you, come on. Something else. Okay, and then that's there. All right, so we're gonna give that a couple of minutes to do its glue thing. Glue out of the way. Let's see who else here. Oh, we got some folks here. Hello, everybody. If anybody is new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Click the like button, it helps. Share it with a friend or enemy. True that. All right. Just slide that on out of the way for a hot minute. So let's do a quick, there's the fuzzy dry brush, the one that I give him the old fuzzy dry brush. Oh, I took all the paint off of that time. What is up with this? Come on. Wow. There's not much oomph in that gunmetal tonight. Try some shining silver. That'll make it pop before we weather the ever-loving out of it. There we go. Get some high points on there. What's up, Red? Okay. Now, kind of want to. That just looks like some type of panel thing. I can't see while I'm in here, Red. But it looks just like some type of electronic panel. Like maybe this thing was something before. Like a vent on a ship or something, and now it's being repurposed, and that's kind of what I'm going for. So we'll do a little bit of rust on the inside. And what's up, Nebula? Or excuse me, Mudhorn. Jesus, I need glasses. But we're gonna keep working on this. And actually I will take a little bit of that wrought iron color, and I'll just do a nice little middle on this piece of what looks like corrugated metal. Maybe it was hot. Maybe it got heated up. That's why it's different. Just something different. All right? Clean that up. How's people? People are people, and my friend, people are people, and I'm good. How about you? Okay. Look at that. 6 people here, 6 likes. I'll take it. I like those even numbers. I want to do... Let's do orange. Yeah. No. Yes. Do lava orange first. That's there. Let's go lava orange, and then you'll give me a second here. Got a piece of sponge. Okay, we got the sponge, and I'm going to go ahead and just pinch that. Got a little tool there. All right, so we've got a tool. Just get some nice rusty spots. Definitely on this piece here, this cage piece. It's interesting to look at. Maybe a little bit down here. And then we'll go with some sunshine yellow. What's up, fam and fans listening as I drive tonight? We'll drive safely, please. And thank you for joining Sand Yellow. Let's get a little bit on there. Tap that out a little bit more. There we go. Just go back over a couple of those same spots. Okay. I'm going to take the same tool. I just wiped some paint off of it. I'm just gonna kind of just feather the 2 colors so that they're a little softer with that sponge. I don't think it's really gonna matter on the fence, but that starts to bring the coloring together, makes those spots look a little more natural. And you can go as detailed as you want, or as, you know, you can leave it as little speckled flecks, which I sometimes do. Now we've done that, so now let's go ahead and take some matte black. This is where I always think that doing rust effect with paint sings is when you bring in the black to make little spots, because we can change the orientation of the sponge a little bit. You get a little bit on there. You just come in, you just pick a couple of spots in there. You add a little bit of black to it. Or you can do a really dark brown, but I think black, especially for what we do at our scale, really helps. I think that one can actually use a little more. Tap that out. And then, again, if you fancy, just use a sponge to kind of do a little bit of blending. Starting to blend. I think I need to focus on this. I'd like that to be a little more rusty looking. So we'll do a little more orange on the sponge. We're not being precious about the fact that there's black paint on it now. If anything, it gives us another layer to the color. And it's this very autumny palette that it starts to put on there. I think that's pretty goddamn realistic, all things considered. Some color on there, and then of course we can always do our you know, secret sauce. The don't tell anybody. You know, keep this to yourself. And you can do that a couple of ways. I'm just going to use a very fine-tipped brush. And I've loaded it on there. I'm just going to go on the underside of these bolts, nuts, whatever they are, rivets. Just add a little bit of drip, like where condensation, maybe on the rare occasion when it rains there, the air gets moist enough, the metal rusts a little bit. These rivets weep a little. And we'll go underneath this guy too. Why not? Okay. It just starts to add those layers of filth and grime. We could spend our Nuln Oil, or we could just take a really wet brush, touch it to the black paint, get ourselves some really runny black paint on there that you get on your fingers. Just add a touch underneath each of the rivets. Mix in with that paint a little bit. Then clean your brush, get most of it off, and then just come in and just give it a little tug into that already wet path that you have there. There we go. just pull it down. And now you've got some really rough looking metal. And I mean, we could keep going, but I think that's adequate for the inside. And so let's do this real quick too. There we are. Do I look any better? And now we're going to add some rustiness to the exterior of the sign. And I'm going to pick at this, give this sponge a little bit of character. And maybe we'll just, you know, maybe, we'll see. We're going to see right now. Let's do some orange. Right there, we'll do some orange, and we'll do a touch of black. Instead of touch, a tooch. Tooch. Maybe I don't want that orange because that's the same orange as the letters. So we'll do German orange, which I would argue is closer to a pink, but hear me out. Just hear me out. Touch, 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 touch. Yellow, 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 yellow. A little more yellow. Then some black. More yellow. Nice. That's a nice color. Yeah. I think I know what the edge needs. There we are. Cool. So now we've got a sign that we can put on the building here. Well, let's take a look. Let's see how that came together. Okay. And I guess we'll, whoop, that's a ladle. Guess we'll just, look at that. We got a little lit up booth. He's got a lamp. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Said man who has no idea what he's talking about. Okay. That's the first step. Let's get this. Come on, cat hair. Boop. Cool. Much better. All right, so that's the first step of this multi-step process here. Now, we've got this wire hanging out the ass of this thing. Let me get the light over here. So we got this wire hanging out the back of it. What I want to do is obviously hide that somehow, but just do like some type of like air conditioner unit or something on the back of that. I think will be a good. Every time I push on that thing, and I don't know why I keep doing it. You'd think I'd learn. You'd think I'd learn. I don't learn. But thinking I don't want to waste my battery, so that's first and foremost. So we'll turn that off. Let's see. Turn that AC on for a hot second. Hasn't been hot in here all day. It's been cold outside. I'm in here for this long by myself, and all of a sudden I'm starting to cook. Okay. So I don't want to glue. Here's thing number 2. So I think I'm gonna have to build this box and then slide this thing in it so that it exists in it on its own, so I can slide it out when I need to work on it. Because I don't want to make it so I can't get to the battery at some point, which you have to unscrew the back. So we're gonna clean up a little bit here so I can think. And we're gonna go to Imagination Land, where we can model up with our brains as well as our fantastic brawn, but mainly our brains. We're going to imagine what we can do to create a little box for this thing. I mean, it can be simple. You know me, it's not going to stay simple. But yeah, let's think this through. So, yeah, probably just a little rectangle box to start with. I've got some thin foam we can use. I think that's going to be the way to go. Thin foam and cereal box cardboard, or packaging cardboard, is going to be the way to go, I think. Yeah, that'll work. And let's start with this first. I'm not just out of frame, dicking around. Again, thin foam. So we're looking at 1 3/4 inches deep and 1 inch. So Famine, why don't you just put it on the piece of thing and trace it? Shut up, you. With your freaking logic. Cool. So go. That'll work. Square this up. That I know is level, so. I'm just trying to do everything to give myself some nice clean angles to work with for this. You know me, I can disguise a lot of my crimes, but you know, in certain cases I probably don't need to, and I'm thinking this is going to be one of those cases where I don't need to do that if I just do this now the first time. Does that make sense? Am I making sense for a change, or change for a sense, I wonder? Right. Not quite there, but that'll do, pig. That'll do. Mortal Kombat. So did we all see the new trailer for Fallout Season 2? Because I sure fucking did 5 times. Because I'm not well. That is one thing I didn't take into consideration, and I'm glad I just did. Where is the sanding stick that I just pulled out earlier? I think I threw it away. Do-do-do-do. Okay. Push that against there. Make that right angle. Take it's a little trick I like to do when I have it squared up like that. And I've got some squeeze out. Is I just take another piece of foam and I get into the corner of the 90 and I just squeeze it out. Squeegee it out, I should say. And it works. Oh yeah. Perfect. And there's enough space too. Excellent. Such a good feeling. Something else. Mr. Rogers? I don't know. I've arrived with a shucking 3. You shucked 3 dozen corn cobs? And you didn't let me watch? Can I come over and watch you shuck corn? I promise I'll stay in the corner and be quiet. You won't even know I'm there. Okay. So we're getting there with our little unit for that. And we're gonna let that, we're gonna stop knocking that around. We're gonna let that sit for a minute. I'm gonna get a piece of cereal box packaging from over there in my supplies. I'm gonna put this foam back. Give me 2 seconds. I'm right here. I just can't see you guys. It's like I'm in the same, it's like I feel like I'm inside the room with you, but you're not really here with me. It's really weird. Ah, God. My limbs don't work. I've broken them. You know, I said I'd do cereal box, but we're gonna do macaroni and cheese box instead because it was smaller, and I can. We'll just go ahead and cut that out. That's what I need. Okay. Use that. Use that paper for later. And let me see. Let me show you. Look, son of a bitch. That was crazy. Hope I didn't scare you all. All right. Eric, yep, back. Cents for pesos, maybe a yen thumbnail for it. Hulu, it's on Amazon Prime. Didn't live stream your corn shucking. No, Sarah, I wanted to be there and just take it in. I wanted to take in your corn. That's a sentence I said out loud. When I woke up today, I didn't think I'd ever say that sentence, but you know. Here we are. Okay, why aren't you cutting? Are you a piece? You're a piece of glue, you silly thing. So we want to do nice little accent. That works out perfectly then. Cool. So let's go ahead and line that up. I call this the Famine That Looks Correct method, where I eyeball something and then I indent the material with my fingernail instead of a pen or a pencil. And I say, yeah, that looks good enough. And because it's cardboard, I'm way more fast and loose with it. And look at that. I was too fast, too loose. But it does not change that I can just make an infield improvement right now. I keep seeing it, and I keep wanting to buy it. It's the Foam Safe Super Glue, and I keep coming up with uses for it, and every time I need it, I haven't purchased it. But it's also like one of those things where I'm like, yeah, but I don't think I need it. I can have some patience, and then I realize that I do not have patience like I should, or, you know, would probably benefit me in my life at this point, which is my own thing that I'm working on, but I'm trying to learn more patience. But, like, yeah, damn, would be great if I could just super glue something like that and move on instead of wait for it to cure. But sometimes that's the price of admission, you know? There we go. You know me, I sand the shiny side with a sanding stick wherever I'm going to adhere, just to make sure they get good. Not sure about Bjorn. What about him? Oh, Bjorn's probably working right now. I don't know what time it is. I just got over here and got on. On account of I wanted to get moving. And I find, like I said last week, or was it Friday or Saturday, one of the days that I was streaming, that I seem to be a little more motivated when I'm here hanging out with my friends and working on projects like this, so, you know, here we are. But as I said, for Bjorn, I do believe Bjorn is working right now. In fact, we could be on at Bjorn's job right now. I know sometimes Bjorn is kind enough to throw us up on the big screen, so that's always appreciated. What's up, Triple D? Okay. $7:12 p.m. in his neck of the woods. Maybe, yeah. So there's a good chance he's still working or he's got stuff going on. Bjorn's a busy man. Bjorn's, you know, being on shows now and doing Blockies live streams. So we love to see success. Hashtag busy Bjorn. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. We have summoned you. All right, so let's think. I mean, I'm certain I said his name 5 times. when I was, probably more, when I was singing Bjorn's praises. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Do. Sense where my name is called 100% of the time. It's called Sex Panther. It smells like pure gasoline. It stings the senses, the nostrils. Alright, so this is going to be our surface. That's perfect. That's going to be what's on the outside, seen on the outside of this box. I've got, because my friend Steven, he said something about the French chef in Little Mermaid. And since then, I've had Under the Sea stuck in my head. Which is, you know, it's not the worst song to have stuck in your head, but it is certainly a song to have stuck in your head. And, you know, I'm not notoriously a Disney adult or anything like that, so me walking around and singing a Disney song like that is very strange. Let's get another. Hell yeah, bitch! Sorry. I got excited there for a second. Sorry about that. Sorry. Sorry, so sorry. Doo-doo. 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 My eyes are like they're gonna bleed. There we go. I've got some Green Day stuck in my head. Also, Sarah, why 3 dozen ears? Are you having corn chowder fest over there? There's just like, are you sending Adam home with shit. Well, that's okay. Are you sending Adam home with like shucked corn? Some kind of sick game? Some kind of sick corn game. I like it. I like where your head's at. You're a little corn freak. It's like we rang the Bjorn signal and Bjorn showed up. Could be smart about this. I should be smart about this. I know some days I'm like Fancy Famine, and see, he heard his name and he appears. He's like Joe Hendry. I know some days I'm like super fancy and super precious about my measurements and my angles and things like that, but when I'm prototyping like this, or prototyping right to what I'm going to use, I tend not to be. So I hope that anybody new who comes along and watches this or catches the replay or whatever doesn't think that this is indicative of my normal building methods. Normally I'm a little more organized chaos than just chaos when I do these types of things. So, just wanted to put that out there. I mean, the chat can vouch. Right, guys? Right, guys? Just getting it done. See if you got. Yeah, right. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, your Christmas party, your pizza party rides on that. So. Thanks for the backup. Huh? Just using the tip, just the tip of the super glue bottle against the open ends of the cardstock so that it fuses it together, because it kind of like wicks because it's moisture, and so it wicks into the cardboard and bonds with the cardboard that's right next to it. That's kind of like my little cheat here to give this some structure. And I'm just making the three corners meet and glue together again, just to give it some rigidity. And then once it's cured a bit, I can go around and trim things up, and then I can kind of really put the glue on those edges, and it'll harden those up, and it will be like a solid box. And we love a solid box. It can really take a pounding. Gotta make sure I warn Dom not to let his kids listen to this episode. I mean, anybody realistically should not have their child watching my content, but, you know, sometimes I do need things with space dinosaurs, and people want to share that with their children. Why? I don't know. Space dinosaurs can be just solely enjoyed by adults. What do I know, though? I just work here. Cool, cool, cool. Nice, 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 nice. Cool. All right. Let's just get this corner pin. That's good enough. Good enough for government work, right? Now, clean up our little scraps here, our little mess that we made as a team. I'll clean it up this time. Next time I'm gonna need you guys to pitch in. You're guilty by association. Several years back, space dinosaurs on a spaceship. I have no earthly idea, my friend. And then reach up here and we get a piece of 2mm EVA foam. Cut a good size hank of it. Sarah, I don't know if you can hear the train, but that's how loud the train usually is. I don't even really register it anymore. I want to put like a little oval on a sheet of foam on the front of this. So I can put something behind the oval and make it look like a little vent. Now I could do something like one of those, but I think that's too big and too thick for what I'm doing. So, dinosaurs, space dinosaurs. I could think of like Horizon Dawn, or was it Horizon Dawn? With Aloy. Okay. All right. Just like this. Cool. All right. Now, we're gonna need something to make our shape with. I'm thinking like some type of fucked up oval. Not like a, you know what I mean, not like an actual fucked up oval, but just like a, yeah, no, that'll work. Okay. So, sharpener. And all I've done is I've traced this little bowl twice next to each other and drew a connecting line. Perfect. There we go. So now we've got, that for later. Got this thing, and I'm thinking whatever we put underneath this. Mesh, wire mesh. I go with wire mesh. Jesus Christ, that'll work out. I know that looked like the most made-for-television, like, oh, let's check the oven. But I assure you, I had that out for making the interior of this. And I was like, shared material. Made sense in my brain. All right, so that's going to have to get trimmed. We love trimming a good mesh. I should be wearing safety glasses right now, safety goggles. And I'm not. This is, again, how Famine does. This is not how to. This is how I'm doing things. And I highly recommend you don't do them the exact same way that I do them. Many reasons, most of them legally related. Interesting. Fire in the hole. Let's get this pressed out flat, nice and flat. Cool. All right. So let's press that down in there. Nice. Cool, 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 cool. Now, normally, when I'm attaching foam to something, metal like this, I would baking powder, but because we don't want to gain too much in thickness, we're going to cheat a little bit, and I'm just going to use my elbow grease and hope that that trick just worked. Yeah, bitch. Science. I pressed as hard as I could and embedded it in the foam. The foam started to cure up around it. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and put just some black. Yeah. Could put a little Mod Podge on there too, just to help, but I'm not gonna. On account of I don't want to. But you could. Where's that? Oh, there it is. I put way too much paint on here. There we go. Battery is dying because your phone is ancient. Meg has the cord. Good night. Dino Crisis 3. Well, it would be a crisis. Zero Dawn? Horizon Zero Dawn? It would be a crisis if there were dinosaurs on a spaceship. Like, no matter what your opinion is on dinosaurs, even if you fucking love them, you get yourself into a situation where there's goddamn dinosaurs on your spaceship. You're in a new world of specific trouble. It's just a very unique trouble to be in. Excuse me. I burped. That's so fucking cool. We got lights in there, guys. Look at that. I dig it. Okay. I'll go. So we should put some type of color behind it. I don't think there needs to be a color under there. There can be, but I don't think there needs to be. Let's go with one of these colors from over here that you guys can't see. See, since we're calling it like some sort of air conditioner unit, let's go with an antique or cotton white. Antique white it is. Because those air conditioner units are largely white on the outsides of buildings, white and gray. So, you know, why not? And why not put that much paint on it again? That does not need to be that much paint. And I just broke a paintbrush. Son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. Doesn't matter. Cool. Next. We're going super glue. Again. And this time I'm going close to the edge as I can get. Because I really want this to like mate with that top surface. Boom. Hell yeah. That's what's up. What kind of party is it? It's a EVA foam party. And an EVA foam party don't stop. Or something. I read on the internet. I don't know. I don't get invited to parties. People ask me not to come to parties. Like, hey, about my Halloween party on the 23rd. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. What's going on? I'd love to come. Oh, no, I just don't want you to be there. Oh, okay. And then I walk away singing You Got a Friend in Me by Randy Newman. Except I sing it all, like, really slow and sad, with a couple of sniffles here and there, just to send it home. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Like that. Because you got to add the, the kind of like, that emotional tremor in your voice. I actually feel like that's closer to a I think Puddles the pity party clown did a version of that song. But yeah, I think that'd be like a really good, well, I don't know, because I don't know what the hook would be, other than it's just really sad of doing that as a SNL skit, is like somebody who just keeps getting asked not to come to people's parties. I don't know, maybe it's the guy that's like too into Pixar movies or something, and he keeps getting asked not to come to parties, and so he gets like really fucking sad. And that's why he's walking away singing the, You got a friend in me. Snip, 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 snip. Kal-El, what are you doing? Okay. And that's gonna need a chunk cut out of it. It's okay. I got an idea. Ooh, that's hot.
That got hot quick.
Okay. And just put it all there and there. Let me stretch that out until it grabs. And I glue myself to it. Okay. I do wish I had my hole punch in here. Not quite sure where it is, if I'm being honest. Being 100% with you guys, I don't know where that is. It's all right though. So we're just gonna that's the first part. Okay. That is the second part. All right, well, that sure is one way to do it. All right, cool. Now we can dress up these corners with a little bit of cardstock. Nothing too fancy. I just think that I can make them look a little neater. And then we'll be able to put a coat of Mod Podge on there and then hopefully paint this bitch and attach it to the back. And then I can worry about a solution for the cord hanging out the butt of the thing. Let's see. Okay. Two. Yeah. Cool. So let's see if we can make this happen. First part, we go here. Then we fold it. Go there. Okay. Everybody sees this and you're like, this seems unnecessary. It is completely unnecessary, I promise you. But it allows me to hide my crimes a little bit better. Ah! It makes me feel better about the work. Is that okay? Can a bitch just feel bad about the crimes that he's done? Get super glue all over things that don't need super glue on them yet? You're goddamn right he can. Let's fix fix that mistake before that keeps me awake at night. Ah, glued myself to it, guys. Boy, that famine, he's always glued to his work. It's also gonna drive me nuts. I'm not glued to my work. I'm glued to my artwork, but not my work, my government job. Or day job, whatever you want to call it, because it's not a government job anymore. That used to be my excuse at my old job for never going out and doing fun things during the work week. Got that government job. I gotta be ready to go in the morning. A lot of times it was true. I really did have to be ready to go in the morning. Yeah. Let's do it that way. This again absolutely contributes nothing else to this build other than me wanting to tidy up my work a little bit. That's okay, because sometimes you just got to do little things in your builds for yourself, and that's going to make you happy, so that when you put your art and you look at it, you don't see mistakes that you could have easily fixed or details that you didn't want exposed. Just take a little bit of time for yourself and make some corrections. Okay. Now I do want to do one of those strips across the bottom for myself, but I think I've got a pretty good idea here. Yeah. I'm just gonna go. Give myself a little bit of playroom there. Thank you, past me. Thanks, past self. Okay. Now we need to do one more strip. And I'm gonna be washing and moisturizing my hands like you wouldn't believe when this is all done. Yep. Okay. Let that cure up. Boy, my brain wasn't working right today. Because, nah, we'll leave it. We'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
Like that. So let's get out of the way. Let's clean up this mess some. Trying to become more conscious of my workspace to keep it cleaner. I've been doing a pretty good job this week. If I don't toot my own horn, if I don't say so myself, pretty good job this week of keeping this space tidy, so that I can just start working on it when I want to, and not worry about moving things around or having like something out of the way. You're back. What did you miss? Like a bachelor or something? Only bachelors use stairs? I mean, I guess you missed me making a wee tiny air conditioner fucking thing. I'm not sure when you went downstairs or where you left. When you left, son of a bitch. But yes, so we've got this. Whoops. Flip it around. Boom. So now we've got that. And there's a thought that didn't occur to me, is how I'm going to get this fucking thing to light up whenever I need it to. Which is probably going to involve pushing the button. Let's see. Let's do we'll do a 3-button stack witch. 3-root stack. Boop. Okay. And then we'll put another one here. Boop. Okay. It's 3-button. 3. So let's see here. Cool. Might be 2. Well, let's see. I'm just gonna put a bit of glue on there. Glue it to that button. Give that a few to cure. That may be too many stacked pieces, but that's why we put them on there, so we can take them off or something like that. I don't know. Okay, so let me just put that in there. And that's against the wall. Not a huge fan of that method. Maybe if we did it that way. Let's try taking one of these off. I guess if I put something... It's gonna have to be 2 pieces, not 3. That part's pretty damn certain, which is fine. We like that. But I think I'm gonna have to put something solid to back this so that it doesn't put too much pressure on there. Oh, Susanna, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? We got balsa wood over there. That's too soft. I have some basswood, maybe? Okay, let's take a look. Let's see what we got. Rub. 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 Alright, let's see here. Sheets of scrap wood. Scrap wood. What do we got? Yeah. Let's try that. Got a broken paint stirrer over there. Broken paint stir stick. Fuck it, let's try it, right? Like, there's no reason for us not to try. Plenty of reasons for us to cry. Like a lack of corn shucking videos. "15 minutes. You should know by now I don't get anything done in 15 minutes. This is not... Think. I mean, I suppose... No. I know what to do. Alright. So this... Get rid of those off of there. Don't need that. Okay, so that can be in there. That's sticking out. What I need to make is... Cool. I'm gonna make a insert that this will be glued to the wall. So this will be glued wherever we land on it, and it'll have 2 little things coming off of it so that this can sit in here after we turn it on, and then I can just slide that back over the top of it, hiding it. So let's do that. And I would do anything for love, but I fucking won't do that. Don't you dare fucking ask me to do that. I swear to God, I'll throw up like a cat. What am I building again? I don't fucking know what I'm building for. You should know by now. I'm building a little air conditioner, AC unit type thing to disguise this light switch. So that's what I'm doing right this second. Ah. And singing Meatloaf, apparently. And you say I'm crazy. Oh, it's crazy and it's true. Something about burning. Tires in the oceans are burning. I don't know. Cool. You know what I got in the mail today, like a caveman, guys? Is an actual CD to listen to music on. Physical media. Hell yeah, brother. Okay. It's from a group called, or a performer called Ben Living. Ben Living. And he'd make some cool like horror themed music and samples the horror movies into the songs, and it's really cool. And I got a CD of his, and I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, actual physical media. You raggedy bitch. Try that again. Snippity doo dah. Snippity a. Okay. I'll let that cure for a few minutes. And then we'll verify before we permanently affix it to the thing that it fits snugly enough in here that that can hold that off the wall. Looks like it does. Freaking sweet. Look at that. We have a solution to my problem. Which is a rare thing I get to say in life, so I'll take a W where I can. But that makes sense, right? That's going to be permanently fixed there so that this can remain loose so that we can pop the front off of there, turn on the light, turn off the light, and then pop that back up. Excuse me, pop that back on. I think that's a clever solution. And in fact, I could probably put like a loop of tape behind this. Like I can certainly just braid that up enough to put a piece of tape there so it'll stay on that. Could. I don't know where the French heck my electrical tape went to. Where are you, electrical tape? Where's your family? Why do you not love me any longer, electrical tape? We were magical together. You did electrical things, I did tape things. It was wonderful. Till that night. Till that night when I caught you in bed with the roll of painter's tape. Tragic. Very tragic. I wasted money on the last physical media that you bought. Bella's bathwater? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people got taken for that, Bjorn. Don't feel too bad. I'm very much a proponent and a believer of physical media because companies have decided now that anything that's digital that they let you watch, and I say that exactly how the way they behave, let you utilize it for as long as they want, they can decide that it's no longer available to you, and them's just the ropes. So, opportunity, when I want to watch something that's not on a streaming service or has been taken off of a streaming service, I always feel good about having it. And also, sometimes, sometimes you're fucking poor. Maybe you're saving up for Christmas and you don't need Netflix for a month, but your favorite movie's on there. So you've already got it on DVD. Just pop it in the DVD player. Okay. Okay. Let's go light in there. Yep. Ta-da! We got a little funky space fucking air conditioning unit. And then when we need to pop it off, to turn this on, we can. And then we just fight the goddamn thing back. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Hell yeah. Look at that. Space, bitch. I am unreasonably proud of this, whatever this is, this mess is over here. Yeah, hell yeah. I would high five you guys if I could. I'd say things like Jesse. No, it's not a bodega. I don't mean what this is. I just mean what this newfangled fucking mess that I've made back here is. But yeah. Yeah. Cool. Look at that. Ah! And again, just pop the cover off. Turn it off. Pop the cover back on. Or that's actually the 6-hour setting. Cell 5. All right. Easy, Barney. Yeah, buddy. I like that. I like where we're getting with this. And then my soup sign. I'm going to find a way to, like, maybe attach that here. Possibly. But I also do like the idea of just another big heck off sign on the roof. So that I'll dwell on. But yeah, look at that. We got a freaking thing. Then I could put the stove in there, which I can also light up. I just haven't. Probably blue or something. Maybe just noodle colored, who knows? Is the room flat or on a... The roof is on a slant. See? That is on a slant. Yes, here we go. So we got the stove. The exhaust hood here. Oh, we can't really see in there, Famine. Gee whiz, it's dark. Do you think you could light it up for us? Thanks, guy. Let's look at that. We got an exhaust hood built in. Got shelves in the back. We got shelves over here. The bar at the front. And then see, this is why I'm like, oh, maybe we could do some type of platform or whatever. So I have a couple of different shapes. I have a couple of different things. I like, I'd probably go with a smaller one of these. Not this one, because this one's goddamn gigantic. But like something, I don't know. I could even cut that down. You know what I mean? Because you have the noodle thing, and then you got your seats at the thing. I thought about putting like a little self-service beverage station over here or something. I don't know. I think this is too much. I think this is too much space and too much... Nope. Nope, Steven, Mr. Ping does not work there. I think this is too much space for what this is, but at the same time, oh yeah, that's true. You gotta have the trash can, so I guess you'd move this forward. And a couple of barrels back there, like a compactor cube. See, this is the type of shit I like doing. Make sure you save space out back so you can climb the little stairs and fiddle with the electronics on the AC unit. Yeah. So I have a hose that I've been working on that's going to be a exhaust fan that leads up to, or exhaust hose that leads up to the ceiling, just to help solidify what these pipes and things that are sticking out of the top do. I could probably run one to this AC unit, in quotes, or lighting generator, whatever the frig it is. The shells, like I said, I want to do a little container for green things so that I can have like lettuce and stuff right there for, or not like fucking space bok choy or something, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't have to worry about the base right now, but it is an option. And I have other shapes too. But yeah, I'm damn proud of that little light. Now, if you'll all gather with me, we're going to sing this little light of mine. We're not actually going to do that. Yeah, I'm fucking geeked here, guys. This is exciting. All right, so what we can do, we can go ahead and pop that off, turn that off, and then we can worry about painting this. This I am going to Mod Podge, but I'm also going to by doing this on EVA foam, it closes up the cells and ensures that they won't absorb so much of the paint and stuff. And also gives them a nice shiny finish that you then cover in matte Mod Podge, if you're like me. Oh yeah. Put the scissors away. I put my scissors away. Sat down and cried today. I don't know why I know the words to whatever song that is, but it sounds like a terrible country song, and it's not really my jam. Oh, it's that fucking Kid Rock and what's her name song. Ugh. Ah, yes, the famous performer, what's her name? Sure, you'll get back to that, but the smaller buildings are equally important for building worlds. Looks great, well put together, has bit evolved to become too much compared to the bigger world building project, like the bar you were building. Oh yeah, the bar's still there. Hooker leaning against the side. No, yeah, the bar is still a work in progress. I just needed to take a Sheryl, was it Sheryl Crow? I mean, I trust you. And yes, F Kid Rock. I just needed to step away from the bar because I was getting too lost in the particulars of that particular was getting too lost in the particulars of that project, and it wasn't fun anymore. And I do intend to return to it and finish working on it. It's quite literally right there. But yeah, the bar still exists though, and the bar will continue to exist, and it will be utilized in Gimmick. That much is certain. The Lucky Raptor's Foot will continue serving drinks in its downtime. People in Gimmick can still go there and do. We just don't see it because I put the bar away. So I didn't have to look at it for a while. But thank you for observing, yes. Cool. Ah. Let's let that sit for a minute. Change that water tonight. Hell yeah. Gray and white on that one, but I'm gonna do this antique white and then really stain it with like running water off of there. And then when I paint this back wall, here, I'll make sure that underneath I have like the telltale water mineral deposits that run down the sides of buildings when their AC runs off the back. I think that'll especially help sell what it is I am doing here. That is fucking dope. I'm beyond happy. I am like geeked. Pneumonia in Numa City. Take me down to Numa City where I might get sick and cough up my lungs. Oh, won't you please take me to Numa City, motherfucker. The remix. Newmania is the local wrestling show there. Let me tell you something, I got Newmania. I got that Newmania fever, brother, hell yeah. Ah. I should have painted this whole thing black. And I didn't. And now we're all gonna pay for it. We're all gonna suffer. We're not. It'll all be okay. Because I'm gonna do some top-notch weathering on this bitch. You'd be like, well, how many notches is your top-notch weathering? And I'm gonna be like, all the way to the top. All the fucking notches. That's how many notches my weathering is. Top notch. I haven't been to the ocean once this summer. Well, technically we did go to the Connecticut food truck paradise thing, and that is on the ocean, but it wasn't to go to the ocean. And I know none of us were talking about the ocean, but that thought just popped into my head. Since this is a off-white color, I'm gonna have to do multiple coats, and that's okay. But in the meantime, in between time, I want to thank you guys for being here. This is exciting. That was a great solution that we arrived at, and we got it, and it's on there. Fuck yeah. Yeah. We make a pretty good team, chat. Let's say we do this again on Tuesdays. I don't fucking know. But hey, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Consider subscribing and liking and all those things. They help. Click that share button. It tells that guy Steve Algorithm, like, hey, this person's doing something that you should show their work to people. And the algorithm's like, okay, good idea, thanks guys. Thanks for doing the thing that the person who's going live wants you to do. Like, that's why they go live, is so that people could watch, but we just didn't think anybody was interested. But then you click the share button, and by golly, what a holly jolly Christmas this year. Good show, man. All right, you guys are kicking me off. That's fine. That's all right. I'll fuck off. What's up, Jabalon? Billy Ocean. Randy Macho Man Famine. Ooh, a cup of coffee. Cup of coffee. That's how long he's been in the business here. He thinks he's gonna come along and challenge for my championship. Cup of coffee. Dude had some of the most fucking unhinged promos of all time. And meanwhile, you got guys who are like Jake the Snake, Dusty Rhodes, telling incredible stories in their promos. And the people that get a lot of credit for, like, oh, this person was a good promo, is, you know, oh, Macho Man. And he's not a bad promo. It's just his promos were so fucking one-dimensional. And you can come at me, Macho Man fans. Lanny Poffo, if you're watching, brother to Macho Man. I don't know why you'd be watching my stuff. Thank you for watching. But if you are, you want to discuss the nuances of wrestling promotions and cutting a promo, we can certainly do that, genius Lanny Poffo. Well, again, I don't think it had anything to do with that, Bjorn. I truly think, like, some of these guys just thought they were cutting a master class on promos, but since they were the only ones getting the promo time, the time on the microphone to get in front of the camera and cut their promos, they were the ones getting the exposure, and therefore all these other guys who are talented on the stick that weren't getting on television because of politicking or whatever were, you know, lost out. Because you tell me, you mean to tell me when they do like a little poll. Yeah, that's true. When they do a poll and they're like, oh, who had the best promo of the '80s, and it's, you know, oh, it's Hulk Hogan, and then it's Macho Man, then Ric Flair, then Dusty. Come on, Jake the Snake, Dusty. They should be at the top tier because their promos actually meant something. Jake the Snake was the first person to talk very quietly and say things quietly, so you had to listen. Instead of just screaming like this, brother, and talking about bench pressing 300 pounds over your head and taking your fucking vitamins. Oh, yeah. Oh, Ultimate Warrior that dude was on so many different things and struggled with so many things and was just like not a good dude. And it sucks to say that about somebody that I used to look up to, but goddamn, just what a shitbird he turned out to be. The Hard Times, Dusty's Hard Times promo. Hard Times, you don't know what Hard Times is, Ric Flair. You said you want to put hard times on these people. You don't know hard times. Hard times is when you're working at the car factory for 50 years and they boot you out on your ass and say, thanks for being here, Daddy. And if you're lucky, you get a gold watch. That's hard times. And if you could feel like you were at home, if you could just reach out and touch your hand to mine and feel it, and the fucking place was going nuts, man. Ugh. The best. All right, kids, I'm going to hop off of here. I need to go get myself something to drink, take a shower, get all this. Yeah, LeVar is the shit. Hey, not a problem, Steven. I appreciate you being here. And always, if you catch it on the replay squad, always appreciate that too. But kids, like I said, I'm going to jump out of here. I'm going to go get myself something to drink, wash up, take a shower. So I will catch you later in the week. I hope you guys are well, and you saw that coming. Too sweet me. Subscribe and go to Patreon. Links in the description. And, okay, bye. I love you.